I'm William Thio.
And I'm Man Maligali.
Giving you today's burning issues and the hottest news here on Newsforce.
Here are the headlines on Newsforce. Former President and now Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo transfers from the St. Luke's Medical Center in Taguig City to the Veterans Memorial Medical Center. Integrated Bar of the Philippines slams President Benigno Aquino III for criticizing the Supreme Court in public, calls the President's statements rude and unbecoming. Commission on Elections files poll sabotage rocks versus former COMELEC Chair Benjamin Abalos. President Benigno Aquino III getting impatient over slow-paced passage of the RH bill. Thai American sentenced to jail for more than 2 years for insulting Thailand's king. Singer Adele finishes 2011 on top as she bags this year's top album, single and video. And first global conglomerates officially announced new home. Fair and balanced news. Comprehensive reports that take you to the heart of the action. This is Newsforce.
The Aquino administration has denied claims that former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was already prejudged even before she was proven guilty on her cases. Rex Remitio with this report.
Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Abigail Voltes stated in a press briefing Friday that former President and now Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was never prejudged and demonized. Voltes said only the courts could decide of whether she must be convicted or acquitted in the complaints filed against her. Volte added that Arroyo is free to voice out her opinions and to defend herself. The Aquino spokesperson also said that the state was abiding to legal processes and only intends to search for the truth regarding the allegations filed against the Pampanga representative. The statements of Volte was said to directly contradict Arroyo's claims that she was already judged beforehand, even if the burden of proof for the prosecution is still not sufficient. For GNN, Rex Remitio, Newsforce.
Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, the lawyer of Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, said that the former president would be transferred to the Veterans Memorial Medical Center, or VMMC, in Quezon City by land Friday morning. On the latest update on Pampanga Representative, she is now at the Veterans Memorial Medical Center. Arroyo rode a coaster van followed by 6 other vehicles in a 7-vehicle convoy.
Former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo said she will be needing a laptop during her hospital arrest at the Veterans Memorial Medical Center to write her memoirs, tentatively entitled Another Stone for the Edifice. The former chief executive said that the memoir that she will be writing is intended to be a follow-up to her father, former President Diosdado Macapagal's memoir entitled A Stone for the Edifice. Despite Mrs. Arroyo's tenure as president ridden with corruption scandals, election controversies, and accusations of 2004 presidential election anomalies, the Pampanga lawmaker has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. The Arroyo camp has urged the Supreme Court to end the poll fraud case against former President and now Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo from proceeding in the Pasay City Regional Trial Court. This is after Associate Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno wants the issuance of a temporary restraining order and writ of preliminary injunction in the en banc session of the High Court on Tuesday. Thursday's oral arguments was concluded by ordering both panels to file their memoranda after 30 days.
The Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or ISAFP, said that there are no immediate threats on the life of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The Arroyo camp said they were also heartened that the Malacanang at least looked into the alleged threat to assassinate the Pampanga representative. The convicted Filipino drug trafficker was only given an hour to spend with his loved ones before his execution on Thursday at Guangxi province in China. DFA spokesman Raul Hernandez said the still unidentified Filipino drug mule met with his 2 siblings and 2 cousins at 8:30 in the morning. Hernandez said that the convicted Filipino only learned about his sentence on the day of his execution. According to Vice President Jejomar Binay, the Filipino drug mule was executed at 12:30 in the afternoon.
On Wednesday, the House minority slammed President Benigno Aquino III as to what the House calls minority calls his public tantrum on the first criminal justice held on Monday. In a statement by Zambales Representative Mitos Magsaysay, she said that President Aquino's statement against Chief Justice Renato Corona was rude. Magsaysay added that this is not only the first time that President Aquino was irked by the presence of Chief Justice Renato Corona, but earlier at the 30th anniversary of the Makati Business Club last week, he displayed the same contempt for the High Court. Meantime, the House minority commends Chief Justice Corona for holding his ground during the Criminal Justice Summit on Monday. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines has expressed its dismay over the strong criticism of President Benigno Aquino III against the Supreme Court, especially to Chief Justice Renato Corona. Here's the report. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines, or the IBP, and the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, or VACC, expressed their disappointment over the strong criticisms of President Benigno Aquino III on the decisions made by the Supreme Court pertaining to the cases against former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. According to the Integrated Bar of the Philippines President Rowan Libarios, the President should accept that the Supreme Court is independent and not consistently at the side of the Executive. While VACC founding Chairman Dante Jimenez said that President Aquino's strong statements against the Supreme Court were extremely rude and shows blatant and utter disrespect for the High Court. Jimenez added that the President should apologize to the public for his unpresidential behavior. Meantime, according to other members of the legal community, Father Joaquin Bernas, a constitutional expert and former dean of the Ateneo Graduate School of Law, he found President Aquino's statements disturbing. Bernas added that President Aquino is the one who is aggravating the conflict between the executive and the judiciary branch. Bernas further added that he admires Chief Justice Renato Corona for keeping silent amidst all the criticisms of the President against the Chief Justice. It can be recalled that President Benigno Aquino III slammed the Supreme Court in a summit on the national criminal justice on Monday over the decision made by the High Court on the cases of former President and now Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Some members of the Liberal Party said they are not that interested in any mediation efforts to reconcile the executive and judiciary branch. Rex Remigio tells us more.
Senators from the Liberal Party were saying that a proposal by the members of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines to mediate and possibly reunite the embattled fronts of Malacanang and the Supreme Court is almost impossible. Liberal Party Vice Chair and Senator Franklin Drilon said that as long as the High Court asserts its principle that all of their decisions are one with the law, it is extremely hard to search for a middle ground with the executive. Meantime, Liberal Party Vice President for External Affairs and Senator Francis Pangilinan said that Corona must instead inhibit from cases involving former President and now Pampanga Representative Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and the latter to the post of Chief Justice in a so-called midnight appointment. For GNN, Rex Remigio, Newsforce.
Supreme Court spokesperson Jose Maidas Marquez has announced that Chief Justice Renato Corona will not resign amidst calls for his step-down, the most recent of which is the speech of President Benigno Aquino III during the first National Criminal Justice Summit last Monday at the Manila Hotel. According to Maidas Marquez, the Chief Justice is bound to complete his term until 2018 since it is not his fault if he was appointed by then-President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, who is currently unpopular with the public. Marquez added that the SC justices are disturbed by the speech of Aquino last Monday since the magistrates came to the event in good faith, only to be ridiculed by the executive branch. Commission on Elections files poll sabotage raps versus former COMELEC Chairman Benjamin Abalos. And President Benigno Aquino III getting impatient over slow-paced passage of the RH bill. Stay tuned for those stories and more reports.